with you. Holy Circle Gaming. Thank you for rocking with your boy like always. Definitely a privilege and an honor to do as such. Y'all see we'll be getting into Gems of War, continuing the series. So there's a few things going on. It looks like it's going to be a pretty quick week. It's not going to be anything too dramatic, at least at the outset from what it looks like. I know that next week we're going to be doing the Guild Wars event, because I know they have us set up for that. I can tell you right now, we're going to be doing a faction assault come tomorrow, so we'll definitely break down the faction assault come tomorrow. We got the pet rescue the day after that. Then a couple of days from now, we're going to have the clash trial behind it. So that's going to be those three events. And I believe there's probably another guild event coming in towards the tail end of that. So we'll definitely break those down as we go along. We'll definitely do the faction assault tomorrow. We'll see what faction it is. We'll break that down for sure. We'll be doing the pet rescue real fast, see what that is. You can see in the silhouette of the pet rescue, you see that's a little snake. I believe that's a character I actually need to go and get to kind of upgrade my pets. So we'll definitely rock that real fast and see what's going on with it. And then the clash trial, of course, we're going to be doing the clash trial as well. But that's going on down the line. But for today, what it looks like is we need to dip into the Soulforge because it is Monday. We haven't got a chance to get our Soulforge in as of yet. So we'll definitely take a look and see what's going on in the Soulforge first. As y'all will see, currently I got about 2,000 gems. I need to get some more gems some sort of way. Our guild, we've been pressing a little bit because we don't have the numbers at this juncture to kind of get every single bonus capped out. So if we can't get everything capped out, we're lacking in getting some of the resources that we need. So I think currently our guild is sitting on about 16 players out of the customary 30. So we're definitely looking. So if you're a Gems of War player who wants to jump into our squad, Burning Legends 2, you could definitely reach out to me or any one of my guild mates at any point in time. You can send me a message. If you're watching on Twitch, you can send me a message there. If you're watching on YouTube or whatnot, you could definitely either send me a comment or whatnot there as well. And if you're a Gems of War player looking to get on the squad that I rock with, message me. We'll go over all the particulars and all that, and then I will present it to the head of our guild, and then we could go from there. I can actually add you in myself, but I want to make sure you're good for it because we want players who are going to be consistent in the gameplay, of course. So in the Soulforge for this week, what we're looking at here is in the troops. I could go through these real fast if you want me to take a look at these. Most people don't really concern themselves with the summoning stones because with the summoning stones is not really a big deal. On occasion, you may see something in there that is worth the grab, like Apothecary. That's one of those ones that may be worth the grab, but 9 times out of 10, you could get that through key pool. So I would rather say, instead of using the summoning stones to get them, unless you really need to get it more immediate, I would definitely say maybe try to use your key pools and try to get it that way versus maybe getting it through the summoning stones, because you'll get it probably quicker in the key pool more so than anything else. But just to let you see what's there, Naga Queen kind of okay. Goblins, you can always get those goblins pretty fast. Archons. Hey, what's good now? How you feeling? Hopefully everything is going well with you. Definitely appreciate you dropping in. Archon statue maybe, but like I said, you could pull any one of these coming out of the summoning stone, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. So if you're looking to see which, if I was crafting, and I'm not crafting this week, if I was crafting, I will let you know what I would craft as a mid-tier player, because there's a few things that's probably under consideration, and believe it or not, this is actually a good week. Now, here's the legends that you're looking at, and these legends, maybe outside of Behemoth, these legends are actually pretty decent when it comes to the legends. So, but I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to craft them, because I still believe that you could key pull the legendaries and still get them. But if you just really needed one, like off rip, you're not going wrong with any one of them. You know, Gorgantha, classic demon, and it actually explodes 15 gems, cleanses itself, reduce gold damage by 75%. Yeah, yes, indeed. So Gorgatha is one of those ones where you could actually put at the front if you so choose to. Definitely a good one, but you could definitely pull for it. Behemoth is cool because it does 14 damage to all enemies, destroys 12 gems. Kind of like in the same vein of Gorgatha, but Gorgatha is definitely the better of the two by far. But I like them both. They're not, neither one is buns, but Gorgatha is definitely better. Emperor Korvash is pretty solid because it does a 19 true damage to the first two enemies stun and then drain their mana. I like that a lot. That's featured on a couple of teams that I have, so you could definitely rock with Emperor Korvash. And then Hydia Frost Crown, 26 splash damage to an enemy and it freezes them. I have a freeze unit team that I can use that's very, very, very good. And this one gains 2 life and magic on 4 or 5 gym matches, so that splash damage could definitely get upkicked pretty quickly when you're having it with teams that can kind of, when you have it with teams that kind of look, I hear you, it's very true. So yeah, very good. So but hey, but anyhow, before I continue, how are y'all doing out there? Y'all doing good? Hopefully everything is going good in y'all lives. Everything's going good with me so far. Just been working a lot and everything. So hopefully everything's been going down and going good in your neck of the woods. How has y'all Gems of War?
Thanks. Wish the guild was going better.
Yeah, you know what? That was the one thing. That's one thing I kind of mentioned with the guild. We need to kind of build guild. So what you'll see, you know, what I'm gonna do, at least on the channel, I'm gonna definitely push the Burning Legends 2 guild. So if there's people who are out there, I know some people don't may not necessarily watch it on the Twitch stream, but I know they watch it on the YouTube page. We're gonna try to push and promote through both fronts. At least that's the way I'm gonna go about it, and see if we could get some more good, consistent players who could go in and kind of help our guild some. So I think that's going to be kind of the push and the goal for what we're trying to do. But that's what we're going to need. I mean, because right now we're only sitting on 16 players. I think only 13 out of the 16 has been pretty consistent right now. And so we really just need a good solid, even if it's a good solid 20 to 25 who are consistently playing and can consistently get the resources for us.
I don't even think it's that many.
Yeah, and you know what? It may not even be that many. I think I counted earlier. I could probably take a look in a little bit and see, but I believe it's 16. I think it's 16 at max. I think only 13 has been consistent, but the 13 has been consistent has been rocking. So don't get it wrong. It's not like the team is buns by any stretch. The team is actually really, really good. It's just the problem is we need more players to just get in and just do our thing and really start moving up the ranks, and more importantly, getting the resources getting the resources coming down. So that's really what it would come down to. So let me break these down real fast. Now, I don't have any of these mythics, but if you told me from a mid-tier perspective which mythic I would take, all of which is good. I mean, War is pretty solid, burns all the enemies, does the 14 damage. That's cool. I don't have it, but I know it's a pretty cool mythic to have. I could probably match it up with Infernus and it'll probably do really, really well. Scorpius is definitely solid. I've seen a lot of teams with Scorpius, of course, to do 33 damage to the last two enemies, and it's the damage is lethal on any poison enemy. So if you get something that could poison real fast and utilize Scorpius, you could definitely knock out teams really fast no matter what. Unless they are impervious or something to that effect, you could definitely do some serious damage with Scorpius. I like Scorpius a lot. Zul'Goth, you know how Zul'Goth get down.
Good against Queen Bee and King Gobtrifle because she submerges everyone on 4 or 5 gem matches.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting to right now. I was getting to Aquaticus. Now, if you told me to choose between the two, I would say Aquaticus, because Aquaticus does one thing that is super important, and you mentioned it, that Tsunami submerges all allies on 4 or 4 more gem matches. That's super important because Aquaticus could break down any looping team that you put it in front of. And that's the reason why, if you told me to choose between the two, as good as Scorpius is, see, the thing about Aquaticus versus Scorpius. Scorpius is cool because when a Scorpius does this thing and you get the poison on teams first and that Scorpius starts kicking, you can knock out teams really, really fast and get them completely out the way. That's the one thing about Scorpius. But Aquaticus is good because if your team takes a little bit of time to develop and you're going against a GOP triple team, and most players in PvP, that's 9 times out of 10 what you're going to see, because that's kind of the meta right now. You know, you could basically kick out a lot of these looping teams with Aquaticus. Aquaticus could definitely save you in a lot of regards. So if you told me to choose one, if I was like crafting a mythic, if I had the 40,000, the 4,000 diamonds to craft, I'm crafting Aquaticus first. I mean, because I would always venture to say that to go against looping teams, I have a team set up with Aquaticus in it, I would definitely go Aquaticus first. I would go Scorpius second, and then probably I like Abysnia because you have the ability to get that Inferno King. So I like that, be able to explode all the gems of a chosen color. You know, get the mana from that and summon an Inferno King. Inferno King is solid, of course. So I like that. Then I would do War. That would be probably my breakdown as far as like the four, you know, Zapdos, Slogoth, and Rage Karanda. You know how those going to be on there until you actually go ahead and craft those out. So, but that would be my breakdown as far as like those mythics is concerned. And I don't have not one of them. This is one of those times where if I actually had the diamonds to actually do it, I would definitely go ahead and pick up that Aquaticus, because I think that Aquaticus would definitely save a lot of headache in PvPs. More so than anything else. That's my thing with Aquaticus. I really think it would do really, really well. Scorpius, I like Scorpius too, though. Don't get it wrong. I mean, if you had Aquaticus and you still had 4,000 diamonds, I would get Scorpius too. I mean, I think those are both super important. Now, do I think that they are... I think Aquaticus is probably a top tier... I think it's like the one at the bottom end of the top tier mythics. Scorpius is probably like your, I would say, like the top end of the A tiers, and it's not really by much. You can make a case for both of them for being like in your top 10-ish mythics. You can make a good case for both of them, especially Aquaticus. I think you can really make a case for Aquaticus being in the top 10, because realistically, it's pretty much that good as far as like defensively is concerned. So I would definitely do that for sure. Breaking down the weapons, is really not too much in the weapons this week. At least currently so far. You got Cobra Curse in there. You got, what else is this? Medusa Stone, which gives you the 23 damage boosted by Mr. Scales allies. You're going to see that used in some of the guild events. I believe we're doing Mr. Scales this week anyway. Remove all gems. I never like removals because they don't give you any mana. I don't like weapons that does removal, so I don't really rock with those. And then I think that's it. There's really not too much there as far as like weapons this week, but troops wise, it's a good week for troops. So definitely, if you don't have these mythics already, if you don't have Aquaticus or Scorpius, go ahead and rock with those two for sure. The legends, I'm pretty sure most people who's playing already have them, so definitely rock with those as well. But you can definitely pull those in keys for sure. Now, guild, is the guild event for this week is Scales of Justice. Oh no! Before I do that, Mr. Scales is the troops for this week. Let me go ahead and let y'all know what that looks like from my point of view, as my crazy don't have all the characters on this board mid-tiers. I wish I could get some of these characters from other people, but a lot of these I don't have. You know, so I'm gonna definitely probably have to key pull some of these at some point, because I don't have like a lot of the legends, because I didn't really pull any legends that kind of hit any of these. I don't have Basilisk, which does true damage. I don't have Virali, which is pretty solid. It's not great, it's not terrible, but it does true damage. I like true damage teams because they can really do something. I don't have Hexrat as well. But a lot of these I just don't have. You know, there's two mythics there. I know Mamba. Shout out to Kobe if you're a Laker fan. Shout out to the Lakers, of course. Mabasira This one is pretty good. It does 14 to 29 damage to 6 random enemies, kind of like a light version of Tina 9000, so definitely pretty good there. Sledge Paw, another legendary as well that actually destroys a block, which is different than most other destroys, where most destroys does like a line, like a row or a line. This one actually destroys a 5x5 block, which is kind of cool because you can actually craft that to do something pretty decent as well. Radigar is like a level 2, and then Viper, pretty okay. But I've seen a lot of these, especially as of late. I've seen a lot of these characters I've been going against them in PvP. So I will be curious to see that Mambasira and that Irali in play. If I could get one of those, it'd be great. I don't know if I will or won't, but that's what I'm missing out of my bunch right now. But going into the week event, and when you're talking about like Mist of Scales, like it's pretty hard because I don't have a lot of the legendaries that is necessary. And what you're really looking to do in this particular event, you're looking for mythics in particular. So on the side, this is what I kind of came up with initially. I don't know if I'm gonna rock with it fully, but this is what I kind of kicked around initially. I didn't run it yet, so I don't know if it's any good or not. I was running life and death. The reason why I was running life and death because it's still 22 life, so basically keeps my character in good standing as far as like health is concerned. Plus it blesses the character, which is cool. Queen Beatrix really, because it could do like the true damage for one, but more importantly, I could kind of utilize the green and get more green on the board, so I could kind of utilize it as a mana generator to a degree once it gets cooking a little bit. I put Luna in there just for some top end damage. I might go dual Queen Beatrix as opposed to having Luna. I just want to see how Luna kind of functions in that mix because I don't have a mythic. I don't have a mystic that is a legendary that I could pop in that spot. If I had one or somebody better than Luna, I probably would, but currently I don't. Then Spirit Dancer is what I have on the bottom end, and not for anything else, is because it transforms a selected mana color to green, so it kind of works hand in hand with Queen Beatrix and with Luna as well. So when you have both of them kind of cooking side by side, Spirit Dancer kind of comes in support, and if it gets kicked out the way, or if one of them get kicked out for whatever reason, I could get a Spirit Fox in there to try to keep my team afloat, so I could kind of protect Queen Beatrix or Luna or a combination of both depending on situation. Running Archer, not for anything else, just so I could get more green on the board faster. That was my concept, was to really just, what can I do to kind of pump in a lot of green gems onto the board. This was kind of the combination I came up with. Is it the best of combinations? I don't know if it's the best of combinations to go with. Part of that is due to I just don't have all the mystics that it's necessary for it to work out perfectly. But it's something that could probably be decent at least early on. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of breakdown right now and let y'all know how I think this team should work. That took them out really fast. Like Queen Beatrix kind of knocked them out. But I want to see how it works a little bit. Oh, before I do that, I forgot one super important thing. This week when you get your badges, it's based upon spell damage. So when you get it up to a medal, it does 160% spell damage. So running with somebody like Queen Beatrix, who could do true damage with 160%, so basically it's double and a half, so it's like 2.5 times the spell damage. Queen Beatrix could probably run crazy, and any other mythic that does like some high end, like either true damage, would do pretty well here too. So definitely could do some pretty good things here. I'm gonna get that badge right there. I forgot to get it and put it on. So let me go ahead and pop that badge on real fast for you. And that's that badge of strife. And even with that, I still have the badge of Anu rocking that gives me the 20%, the medal of Anu that gives me the 20% starting mana. And then I have the badge of Nisha, which gives me the +1 magic. So That's how I work. So the extra magic definitely helps on the teams. The plus 20% starting mana probably helps. I could probably go with something else, but currently that's what I'm working with. So that's kind of the team layout, the way that I have it currently constructed. So when I'm running a unit like you see here, like I said, ideally what I want to do is feed into Queen Beatrix as fast as I can. That's kind of the concept that I was going with when I came up with this. But what I'm curious to see is what y'all think as far as team compositions. Like if there's better team compositions that I could take a look at, I'm definitely interested to see what type of team compositions that y'all have. So if y'all have that, y'all could definitely leave it in the comments below. Y'all could definitely leave it. If y'all watching on YouTube later, y'all could definitely leave that in the comments as well. Y'all could definitely reach out to me in all the social media platforms. Y'all can always reach out and I'll definitely take a look and see what's what. But I'm definitely curious to see what type of teams y'all come up with for this. Because for me, I think this team will work out pretty well, at least initially. I think I'll probably run into some problems down the line, but I just don't know if I just don't know how long it will stand up. It could stand up for a while. I could run with this team the whole way through because it's not terrible. I think the only limitation that you have within this team is that you have a limitation in weapons for sure. So you could go with Black Manacles. That would definitely help for sure. Another weapon, if you could go with the Doom Breaker, that's not a bad idea. If you saw happen to happen from last week, Essence of Evil is definitely good too. The only reason why I didn't use Essence of Evil versus like the Life and Death is simply because even though Essence of Evil explodes the 19 gems and stuff, which is definitely good, it blocks the green. So I want those green to kind of get fed directly into Queen Beatrix first, and then if it's not Queen Beatrix and Luna, one of the two, I want to make sure that their abilities are cooking first, as opposed to like the Essence of Evil. Even though if I needed to go defensive for any reason, I could probably pop in Essence of Evil and it'll work just fine. Or I could potentially run like Fire Ruby Staff if I was trying to just do more. But I'm trying to go more offensive, so the +2 to all skills would definitely work. But again, it blocks the green, so I wanted something that would kind of get away from utilizing the green. So that was kind of my concept of running with Life and Death, something that would not block the green and utilize colors that would work out much better in that composition. And I might change this composition out because this is going to be something that's going to be ran all week. This is not going to be one of those events where it's just going to be like 1 day or 2 days. This is a weekly event, as y'all well know. So I want to make sure that even with that, I could probably flip compositions and teams, and I'm curious to see who comes up with what team and what team is fire, especially a non-mythic team. I'm curious to see if somebody could come up with a non-mythic team that works out, because if somebody has a good non-mythic team, oh, you know, I should have held that for I know that there is a an event, not an event, there's a quest that actually requires me to do this real quick. So I messed up. I should have held it. It's okay. So I forgot to go over campaign. So I will definitely cover campaign real fast if you're actually doing campaign. In the campaign, you have week 2. Week 2 will definitely get you. Week 2, once you're done, will definitely get you the +3 as far as like attack is concerned. And plus they'll give you 5 life as well. So you could definitely work on that. If I was working on it right now, one of the first things I would have to do is craft a red summoning stone. So let me go ahead and just do that real fast just so y'all can see that cooking. So that would be the first thing. So you just have to kind of go through the task. I wasn't really trying to rock through the task like that, but as you go well see, what's coming up is you got to go through green enemies on one. You got to do an explorer run like right off rip. You know, pest control. So I'm gonna start working on that a little bit later down the line, but definitely want to start cooking in that regard too. Cool, so that's the end of that particular session. So if y'all want to catch up to me, if y'all want to see it live on Twitch, y'all know where to see me. Twitch.tv/TrueIndeed. Test me on my social medias as well, alright? Y'all know who I am, I'm Mr. True Indeed. Of course, y'all know who I represent. It's the Holy Circle Gaming. Like always, it's God above everything. Till the next time, family, we'll do it again soon. Salute.